This particular figure is illustrating the concept of a test cross. And a test cross is used to determine if an individual with a dominant phenotype is homozygous dominant or heterozygous, because you cannot tell just by looking at the individual. So if we look at a trait regarding flower color, and it's been shown that violet is the dominant color, then I know the individual that has the recessive color must be homozygous for that. Because if a dominant allele was there, the individual would show the dominant phenotype. So that means that my violet flower is either homozygous dominant or heterozygous. Since we don't know which it is, we use a dash after the dominant allele. We know that this individual has one dominant allele. However, we don't know what's in the second position. So it's sort of a wild card symbolism because we don't know. Now the test cross will allow me to make that distinction. If this individual is homozygous dominant, then all I would see in the F1 would be violet flowers, because the only type of gamete this individual would produce if the individual was homozygous dominant would be dominant allele gametes. This one can only produce recessive allele gametes. Therefore, if I saw lots of progeny that were all violet, then my inference would be that the flower must have been homozygous dominant. If, however, I see one, and that's all it takes, if I was to see one homozygous recessive offspring produced, then that would mean this individual would have to be heterozygous, because that's the only way I could produce an offspring that was homozygous for the recessive allele. So in summary, a test cross is used to distinguish between homozygous dominant and heterozygous genotypes for an individual that has the dominant phenotype.